I have brooded for over 3 months, not knowing what part of my story to tell for my icebreaker speech. To a great extent, I feel as if the person that I was and the person that I am are fundamentally so different, I couldn't compare them to two sides of the same coin. They are two separate coins altogether. So instead of telling you the story of who I am, which is based on who I was, I will tell you the story of who I am becoming, because that is what truly describes me today, a continuously evolving being. This pandemic has brought about obstacles and challenges we had never anticipated. It has redefined life as we know it. When it struck, I fell into a dark tunnel of complacency. I went from being an industrious student to watching TV and eating junk food all day. And worse, I couldn't interact with those that I loved and cared for. And I began to feel empty, as if a black hole was being born from within me. And I began to ask God, why am I feeling as I am? And I realized I had lost connection with who I truly was. As a medical student, I loved reading and learning. I loved interacting with my fellow lecturers, students, and other patients. I believed that there was something to learn from each and everyone. Realizing this, I decided to try and reconnect with my old self. I began reading my books on dentistry and interacting with my old friends more often. And in the course of a month, I was feeling so elated. I couldn't imagine I was once feeling as I did. And I vowed never to be complacent again. The first breakthrough happened when I shifted the question to if by picking up the old habits, my mental health was related to where it was it possible to feel better? Was there a higher form of self-expression and happiness than I was experiencing at the time? Fast forward a few weeks later, as I was walking in the supermarket, I noticed a bookshelf, and on it was written self-help. And this is what led to my rebirthing. I picked up my first book, perhaps written in the 1800s, and upon completing it, I looked at it and wondered what an astonishing thing a book is. It's a flat object made from a tree with flexible parts on which are imprinted lots of funny dark squiggles. But one glance at it, and you're inside the mind of another human being, perhaps dead for thousands of years. Across the millennia, an author is speaking clearly and silently inside your head, directly to you. Books are perhaps evidence that humans are capable of working magic. Books connect people who never knew each other, citizens of distant epochs. Books break the shackles of time. A few days ago, as I was working out in the gym, I had a chat with the chairman to one of Kenya's largest banks, and he told me that he too had gone through such a phase. And it is from this experience that he developed a work ethic that has seen him become a successful investor and chairing several government boards. And his advice was that the body and the mind are connected, and the health of one is dependent on the other, and both need to be continuously exercised through reading more books and developing new skills, as I am today. Now, truly, an idle mind is the devil's workshop, and I've had but the unfortunate experience of meeting this devil, and I can but only warn you. My story could be taken to be my introduction to the club, but I believe in it is the story of how to overcome the mental challenges when they do arise. And remember, if it's not okay, it's not over. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
On to Newton Wanyika's evaluation. Newton, that was a very good speech. You met the objective of introducing yourself. We now know that you're a medical student, that you have recently become an ardent reader, and in addition, that you are a coffee enthusiast. Our very own Rosie will be excited about that. On some other areas of your speech, which you performed very well, I liked your effective use of gestures when you are emphasizing, and even when you're talking about picking up the pieces. You're also very smartly and sharply dressed, and this exuded confidence even before you said a word. I also noted your excellent use of language. Just to point a few examples, fell into a dark tunnel of complacency. Books break the shackles of time. On to a few areas which I believe you can improve or work on. At some point, I noted you took a longer pause, perhaps to suggest that you're trying to remember the next lines of your speech. In this, I encourage you to practice a bit more. Number two, whereas your speech was excellent, it was just slightly under 4 minutes, implying that you still had roughly one to 2 minutes that you could still have used to probably tell us why how and why you joined Smart Speak Toastmasters. In summary, a very good speech that met your objectives, and I look forward to more of your speeches. Well done, Newton.